morning. Welcome to another episode of the Mizuho Week Ahead. I'm Boon Hing, market economist at Mizuho Bank. This week's theme is inverted logic. Inverted logic seems to be all the rage these days, where good is bad and bad is good. Certainly, most people are familiar with the perverse notion of bad US data being good news for markets, especially for those that are fervently awaiting any excuse to ignite pivot brand of risk on, which is why markets stumbled on an outrun in the US data last week with lower jobless claims and an unexpected acceleration in services ISM. In turn, it prompted USD yield curve to bear flattened. 2-year yields were up 11 basis points, 10-year yields were up 8.5 basis points, and knocked back Wall Street. Nonetheless, the overall belief of immaculate disinflation, which is an upbeat iteration of a soft landing, which underpinned optimism about US inflation, has unraveled, and demand remains unfazed by a hawkish Fed. What's more, the principle of inverted logic increasingly appears to apply to China as well, whereby dismal economic prints in the world's second largest economy and largest factory floor are met with anticipatory cheer about Beijing being more likely to scale up stimulus. In fact, the wider China complex appears to have become far more reliant on, perhaps worryingly so, Beijing's ability to pull a growth rabbit out of its hat. This is not only a tall order, but also an unhealthy addiction that progressively demands more buck per bank, at least until a resolutely convincing economic rescue appears. And this is nowhere in sight. Even what was deemed to be a fairly aggressive property easing measure fizzled given the limited reach in Tier 1 and Tier 2 cities that may leave Tier 3 cities mostly out in the cold, which by definition leaves a good deal of property-related stress and flashpoints for contagion risk intact. Over the weekend, a series of reports that presidency has been called to task by party elders on the dire state of the economy may also be cast in a positive light. The inclination is to take the bad news on worries about the economy as good news on stimulus conviction. However, this reveals potentially greater fracturing within the Chinese Communist Party and the attendant intensification of policy uncertainty, mainly because party officials downstream are then caught between these drifting fractions and then fumble on policy execution. This dampens the prospect of a collective, overwhelming desire for a rescue. To be fair, this is not necessarily turning logic on its head, but there is a positive bias. Speaking of inverted logic, OPEC deserves mention. Cutting supply to effectively bump up prices above $90 per barrel surely defies the logic of concerns about waning demand, especially if the high crude oil prices perversely not only crimp demand further, but worsens the threat of policy-induced recession, because higher inflation imposes harsher policy trade-offs, which is almost certainly far more disastrous for crude oil demand. For now though, the ECB on Thursday is likely to hold off on a knee-jerk hike on account of soaring gas prices as they mull over a greater degree of two-way uncertainty and exercise humility over policy unknowns. A slew of China data at the end of the week may show some improvement, but they keep stimulus hopes alive. And as the global economy improves, inverted logic may play out again, this time possibly dampening cheer as markets may by then deem conditions healthy enough for more cavalier geopolitical brinksmanship to be unleashed. For more information, please refer to our Week Ahead publication or contact your respective sales desk and RMs. And for regular notifications on our market views, please subscribe to our channel and hit the notification button. Thank you.